Hi, guys. Welcome to episode 7 of Abundant by Nature. I'm Camelia Jaber.
And I'm Dunya Jaber, and today's episode is about relationships.
About relationships. I was inspired today to do an episode on relationships because I feel like that's definitely been coming up everywhere around me lately. What I wanted to say about relationships was the people who invest in their relationships are happier people. And the reason that is well, first of all, we have to work on ourselves. We have to work on ourselves and see that what we actually bring, what we're bringing to the table, how we behave. And when I first was having my relationship struggles and was not understanding why things were not going my way, I did a lot of research because that's what I like to do. I did research on the topic and found out that there's different relationships or attachment styles. There's different love languages. There's so much out there to know about yourself and about the people that you become friends with or have a relationship with. I think it's such a crucial topic, and unfortunately, I don't think a lot of us know how to have healthy relationships because we were never taught how to have healthy relationships, right? And if you just like any other topic, so I started studying happiness 40 at 40. Well, that also grows into obviously relationships, right? To be happy in life, you have to have healthy relationships, and that could be one of the most important pillars of your life is having healthy relationships. I learned a lot about actually different attachment styles. There was the anxious preoccupied type, there was the avoidant dismissal type, there's the secure type, there's the fearful avoidant types. We have the egoists, we have the narcissists, the givers, we have the takers. There's just so many styles and dynamics in relationships. And the good news is we can work on all of them. And the first step is self reflection. So take a look at your relationship and where it feels wrong. Instead of pointing to the person for the problems, I think the first step we all have to make is look at ourselves, because our first and foremost, most important relationship is the relationship that we have within ourselves. And until we fix that relationship, we will not be able to have healthier relationships outside of us. Most of us come from dysfunctional families, and the relationships that we've seen are not top relationships. They're lacking either love, they're lacking chemistry, they're lacking fun, joy, adventure, they're lacking nourishment. There's a lot of lack in those relationships. So, what I wanted to say was first, look at yourself and do some research and study. There's everything you could imagine out there right now. You could learn so much, first about yourself and how you are presenting yourself in relationship, because you do not see, you think you're doing it right. You think, hey, there's nothing wrong with me. That person just doesn't get it. But most of the time we do not know we are presenting ourselves. And I'm not saying that the other person is not the problem, because they also need to take a look at themselves. But as I tell my friends, a relationship is a separate entity that the couple, that even in friendships, have to work on it as a separate entity. So I don't want people to think that I'm saying you work on yourself, the other person works on himself, and it's going to be happy go lucky. No, I mean, you're going to start with a better base that way. But a relationship or a friendship is a separate entity that you both have to invest in. So you have to look at relationships like a business. Like if you started a business, you have to invest in that business on a daily basis. On a daily basis, you have to put work and effort toward it to make sure that it nourishes, it flourishes. And for some reason, when it comes to romantic relationships or friendships, we check out on that.
I think it's very important to be honest with ourselves and whoever we're dealing with. Always be honest, because it's good to be clear with people. What you put into yourself also will come back. So, how you treat yourself will attract how you get treated in relationships as well. And it's important to love and respect yourself and know your worth and know how valuable you are, because if you don't realize these things, then you're going to take unnecessary suffering from somebody else. And even if that person doesn't really mean to give you pain, it's just because you're in your head about some things, or you think about certain things in a way where it just causes you pain and suffering. And it's not about taking anything personal. Give people what you want to get back, and don't treat others in a way that you're more important, or like,
Or they're more important.
or somebody's in control. Like, there's nobody in control. We're all equal. We're all supposed to be equal. We're all the same. And if we can't treat each other with equal love and respect, that we're not serving our part here in the world. Now we're in a situation where people are feeling more collective emotions, where we're starting to realize the importance of relationships and people and friends in our life. And also, it's showing us who is actually a real friend and who has been pretending, and the ones who care and the ones who don't. And it's good to take note of these things and realize the pattern of people that we're attracting into our life, because that shows us where we are in our life and how we are treating ourselves and the relationship that we have with ourselves.
Our own self-worth. Yeah, I think this pandemic has definitely either made some relationships stronger because people were able to go deeper, have deeper connections, being vulnerable, which is a lot of people are afraid of, and actually is the most beautiful thing ever. Open up like communication. A lot of people don't know how to communicate.
Yeah.
They throw around that word communication, and they really don't know what they're talking about. Communication means going vulnerable. Communication means letting go of your ego. Communication means having real conversations, getting to know what the other person is actually feeling from their side, has nothing actually to do with you,
Hmm.
right? That's communication, getting vulnerable, speaking your truth,
Opening
listening
up.
to the other person's truth,
Yeah.
and then sitting back and seeing what works for both of you, and if you want to move forward. But unfortunately, most times when somebody wants to try to talk to someone, the ego goes up right away, right? It becomes a personal attack on the person. Well, no, that's not what it is. So I also wanted to talk about that. Communication in relationships is yes, is the most important thing, but it means to actually communicate. It's really going deep. It's really letting the other person in. It's really being vulnerable. And if you want those amazing relationships that will last a lifetime, you got to go vulnerable. You got to be there. You got to invest in it. It's got to be equal investment from both sides. Another issue that I learned about myself is I learned from my mom. My mom is very giving, 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 that you just keep giving. And no, that's actually not healthy. There has to be an equal give and receive, there has to be equal investment. There also has to be regular discussions about, hey, how do you think we're doing? How's the friendship? Like checking in on the status of the relationship. You have to treat relationships and friendships like a business. There's
Yeah.
nothing like amazing friendships and beautiful relationships, and we all deserve to have them. But that means that we also have to invest in them. We have to work on our qualities that need improvement. What are we bringing to the table? What is the other person bringing it to the table? And
Yeah.
being real and honest with that, to move forward. But I think this is a great topic, and I hope and I wish everyone to have flourishing relationships and friendships. Stay connected with your friends. Be more loving. Look inside more. Treat people truly as you want to be treated. The quote for today: love in such a way that the person you love feels free.
It's a good one.
Good one. That's by Thich Nhat Hanh. I don't know how to say his name, but yeah.
Thanks for tuning in today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and until next time.
Until next time.